Hello, you're watching Balcony TV of the interview sessions. I'm Greg Barnes and here with the Blizzards. How's it going, guys?
Good, thank you.
Man, good.
Cool, enjoying England's sun?
Yeah, it's actually a bit much, to be honest with you.
We're healing our mind in the sun. Yeah.
Well, named like the Blizzards, you're used to the cold, I guess, right?
Yeah, you had to start with that. Yeah. We've heard them all now at this
Nice
stage.
little quip, yeah, thank you. How did you form the name anyway?
There's no cool name to it. Like, there's no cool kind of background to it. It just came out at the time. It just suited what we were doing. You know.
Yeah, cool.
At the time, we kind of just getting going. Like, you know, we weren't that serious. So, like, at the end of the day, names really mean nothing. And we just.
So when you started out, you didn't really think this might become a career that.
No, absolutely not.
It's just for the love of music.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, most bands say the whole love of music thing. We like every other musician, we started to get, you know, because we've really nothing else to do, you know. Like we love pop music, we love good tunes, and you know, we didn't start to get any kind of pats in the back by cool musos or anything. We did it because we just wanted to write. We were kind of annoyed with not annoyed, but there's just music was kind of. People were forgetting that it's all about the songs.
It's hitting a rut. It was all getting a bit samey about 4 years ago, wasn't it? And that's when you guys formed.
Yeah, I think it was all that singer-songwriter, acoustic-y thing, and it wasn't really our scene at the time. So.
No, that's cool. And did you form with love of influences and stuff? Like.
No, our influences were. That's what I think is what kind of got us going in the first place. Is that we never kind of set on an influence. And we, you know, Deck was into heavy metal. I was into Lynchy was into folk music. I was into anything really. I just like good pop music and. You know, I think we're certainly not musical snobs. Recently now we've been embracing 80s music a lot more than.
Well, the 80s has a big resurgence. Like you guys are going to see LaRue a bit later. All sort of music with synth and that sort of thing's working its way back in.
It's not the kind of you know, the more of the 80s kind of, you know, the guitar 80s music rather than the synthy Casio stuff.
Well, like the Cure, music like that, the Clash.
Yeah, the Cure, maybe stuff even like, you know, I know you're going to probably laugh. The likes of Phil Collins and stuff like that. You know, we were talking earlier before we did the interview about songs.
Yeah.
If you want to listen to songs, you got to listen to bands like that. You know, they had it down to a T. And
yeah, when the more packaged, like 3-minute track was coming in.
The song equations came into play in the 80s, and you know, this kind of the psychedelic 70s kind of disappeared, and it really did become. You got producers coming out then, like, you know, you had your Trevor Horns coming into play, like that, who really showed people what it was like to write pop music properly.
And is there a format that you guys follow? Do you get together and think, we want a song which sounds like this, or we want a more somber song now? Or?
You see, we accepted very early in our careers that, you know, we are relatively commercial pop act. That's the way we want to go. So, you know, we knew right down if we were going to write songs for an album, they had to be hits. They had to be 3 minutes. They had to be, you know, and we make no excuses for that. That's what we went for. We didn't go for the 14-minute self-indulgent music solo or anything. It's just not what we do.
And it's catchy songs.
The domino effect's going down very well. Getting a lot of critical acclaim and stuff.
The Domino Effect is kind of the first song, you know, the first album that we released in Ireland at the time was kind of written when I was in college, and it was, you know, it was about being in college. You know, when things that you thought were important weren't important now.
Yeah.
The Domino Effect is stuff that we find important now, being 26, 27 years of age, things that make a difference. But like, we certainly don't sing about politics or sing about. We try at the very most keep bitchiness out of our music, and it shouldn't be. All the great artists never had to do that.
Bitchiness aside, there are bands like U2, another great Irish band, who are very political. What do you think about that when you promote a certain political angle in music?
U2 came out when there was something to sing about politically. They were really, you know, Ireland was in big trouble at the time, and they were going through, like, you know, Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland was a very, very different place than it is now. We've nothing bad to sing about. We've great lives, we've great families, come from a great town, you know. Things are bad at the moment, but like, they're not something I want to sing about, and nobody wants to hear me sing about it or the band sing about it. Do you really want to hear someone give out?
I think Bono had his agenda at the time because that's the way he wanted to go, but I think even his own band are getting pissed off at him now.
Yeah, he's running out of songs to write, which are...
No, but I do think it was timing, you know. Yeah. If we came out in the 80s, I'm sure we probably would have been political.
Yeah, it's relative. It's relative to the time, I think.
Yeah, and what have you guys got to sing about which is happy at the moment? Like, what's going on for you?
The sun.
The sun.
I don't think sing about being happy. I think if you sing about the simplest things, you know, like, we're not cryptic. We're not trying to be bloody Bob Dylan. We're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We never ever claim to do that. Like, but like,
just
what we do well.
We
do pop music well, and that's, you know, we try to inject a bit of energy and power to what we do. You know, because our kind of foundations of all the band was always in guitar, heavy guitar music, and you know, you kind of wanted to get that across. So what you're essentially looking for is power pop, which is you know, is often thrown around quite a lot. Like,
yeah. Is there a lot of that at the moment, do you reckon? Or do you reckon you're
no, I
completely
don't think there's
unique?
any. No, we're not unique. We don't claim to be. You know, that's
Yeah.
I just think we're pop with a bit of balls, really. You know.
Pop with balls.
Pop and steroids is probably what we've been described as. But
And if you're going to recommend, other than yourselves, like a band at the moment who was pop with balls, would you have a favourite?
you know, I think at the moment there's an awful lot of female artists out, you know, and that seems to be the thing at the moment, and that's the way the industry works. You get kind of cycles of when artists are going to be big, and you know, I don't think any band at the moment. The big thing I have is I think it's almost bad to have balls. You know, if you come out and say something, or you wear your heart on your sleeve, you're frowned upon, and that's wrong, because the kind of idea of the front man is dying out now. To be a front man is a bad thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're seen as cocky or egotistical, and in the first place, there's no point in being in a band or being a frontman or singer or whatever without having an ego. Don't do it. Don't bother.
How much do you reckon today is music and how much is image when it comes to a band?
That's, you know, everyone asks about the whole. I think that image thing is you know, you went through a phase 4 or 5 years ago. There was image. That's gone. It's all about the music. It's all about the tunes. And you know, even you look at LaRue now, who. That doesn't look contrived to me. It just looks like that's the way she is, and that's the way, you know, some acts that came out 4 or 5 years ago, they looked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it, you know, I could see it, and most people could see right through it, and unfortunately, that's where sustainability comes in.
Sure. So what's next for the Blizzards? You got a new EP or album?
Got a single and album coming out.
Singles out. We kind of Buy It Sell It was our first single. We haven't released that in Ireland, but the album, The Domino Effect, is out here in September, and kind of quite excited about it. I think it's, you know, it is full of hits. That's what we wrote for. It's full of radio songs.
Yeah, sure. And you've had quite a lot of airtime recently, really driven from success to success.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what the songs were, you know, how they were written, you know. I love listening to the radio, so I don't listen to left to centre music. Not that I don't think it's any good, I just don't enjoy listening to it. So
it's completely fair enough.
That's our opinion on it. And
well, it's probably the most competitive of all the industries is the mainstream radio songs which go out there. What would you class as your biggest success till now?
Song-wise or?
Song-wise, yeah. What's your favourite song?
Well, it doesn't really matter about your favourite song. It's like some songs you think are like my favourite song on The Domino Effect is the title track, Domino Effect, but it's not a radio track.
No.
I just feel it's the one song that kind of sums up what we are, but you know, it'll never be played in the radio. But songs like we have, like Trust Me, I'm a Doctor, which I make no excuses for, it's a pure radio hit. That's
it's great. It's great, and the video's great as well.
Yeah, kind of, you know, I think that's, you know, most people that we've been chatting to about it regarding it know exactly. It says exactly, you know. That's what we're going for. And it is a catchy song. It's, you know, when you have a 3-year-old kid singing it to you, you know you're on a winner.
Yeah,
you know, that's
absolutely.
kind of our kind of secret.
And as a band on a journey to, I guess, stardom, what would you say is your biggest success so far, or what's felt like you've maybe made it?
I don't know if we ever feel like we've made it, but you know, we've done some massive things in our time.
Yeah, supporting Oasis, that's got to be a huge moment.
Oasis was huge for me anyway, and we did AC/DC, and that was kind of...
That was strange.
10 steps
AC/DC
above
is strange. I mean, we
what are they like backstage?
You didn't see a lot of them. Like, I mean, they kind of flew in and flew out. Like, I mean, to have us in the bill, we knew we'd be fine because of, you know, once we were on stage, you know, the energy we give, you can write off the pop thing straight away. It is a rock show that we do. But I just found it ironic that you had a lot of kind of metalers kind of going, what are these guys doing on the bill? And I played, I think, about 2 bars from Michael Jackson, and the place went mental. I was going, it's kind of ironic they're going mental for the king of pop
when they're so ostensibly against it.
Yeah, you know. So
there's all these guys with beards and stuff and piercings, but they were all bouncing away.
Okay, you know. Cool. But I think what we have is our live show has always been our trump card, and pointless trying to get us until you come to our live shows. That's
cool.
The only advice I have.
And you've got a lot of live shows coming up this summer.
Yeah, very busy.
Kind of few festival and Oxygen in Ireland. We've shows around. We kind of just at the moment we're just kind of finishing off in Ireland. We've done released our final single there.
Wow.
And in Ireland I think we've done all we can do there, and now we're ready to come to the UK. 2 years ago we weren't. We have confidence now. We've experience. We understand a lot more about the industry. Big gigs like that, big festivals, big stages, they don't phase us. That's we've experienced that. We know what we're doing. You know, you can throw us on pretty much any stage, but as I said, 2 or 3 years ago, we didn't have that experience.
Yeah, something which comes with many gigs over time. You get more confidence.
And we led up to them. We didn't, all of a sudden go playing in some small venue in London and then all of a sudden be thrown onto a main stage, because it's a different game up on the main stage. It's 50 times the size. You don't even know you have a drummer with you. Sometimes it's that big. So we kind of qualified up to the stages in Ireland, and
that's cool.
The confidence levels are there now, which is essential.
Well, I'll be sure to look out for you guys and your tours coming up, and also the album which is out in September, is it?
September, yeah.
I'll check it out then. Thank you
Thanks
guys.
very much.
Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.